There's one thing I love more than getting my pitch over the plate, and that is getting over this plate in Casa Ole. It's like a fiesta in Casa Ole. Casa Ole, fresh today, every day. Get a free child's play, put your sticker stuff from any Astros game. Casa Ole, fresh today, ole, every day. Casa Ole, ole.
Monetize it.
That's what
We need to monetize this. All right. Hola y bienvenidos a Lima Time. Estoy James. Él es Patricio.
Hey. I realized I stopped myself right when I started that. I was like, I can't. There's no way I can. I don't know the language, so I can't legitimately talk. Yeah, I'm just hi. That's all I got. I'm Mr. Bisabaru. That's all I will do. All right.
I have a 252 day streak on Duolingo. So I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to become fluent in Spanish. And apparently
I thought you were learning Gaelic or something like an old ancient language or something. I don't know why I came up with that.
I know someone that's actively learning Klingon, and I'm like, man, like, what? You're so white. Like, stop.
That sucks.
There's no reason.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one of the just a weird sex pervert learning Elfish from the elf or elfin, whatever. I don't know what it's called. It's called something stupid. With Lord of the Rings, just learning anything, a language that doesn't. You suck. Anyway,
yeah, no point. All right, so this is Lima Time. It's episode 199.
Is it really? It's not it's not the bisexual centennial.
It is not, but that's coming here pretty soon. No, it's 198. God dang it. It's 198.
That's the sex number.
It is the sex number and the drug number.
Drug number 911, blaze it, 420. All right.
So we need to figure something out for episode 200. We gotta get somebody on.
We'll get somebody on, and maybe it'll come out on time. It'll be released in a proper manner. I don't know. We'll do something special.
Maybe we get Chandler Rome on now that he's with the Athletic and is not tied to the Hearst media empire.
Yeah, and I'd like to be able to talk to him. I had to leave that episode, that convoluted circus. Although everybody was great, there's no hating, but that was I feel like he was great, and
you had to go.
Yeah, but it was such a crazy thing going on that got kind of lost in translation.
Yeah. So maybe we can do a re-up of that, or maybe this is the one where Bregman finally comes on. Number 200.
He's not coming on, but I will message him again. I'll be like, hey, I've been probably blocked so long, over years probably I've been blocked for sending him. This is kind of ties into would get hammered and send him Lil Wayne lyrics.
It might work.
He loves it. He loves them. No, he always responded and was cool. But then when I would act, I'd go back and read, and I would just get die of embarrassment. I'm like, I'm like, fuck, that sucks. I don't even send lyrics to people. It's like a thing I don't do. It's just that's just one of the gayest things I've done. So and I felt like I kept my restraint as cool as I could with McCullers and Bregman. But yeah, every once in a while, I in a moment of weakness, I'm just sitting here, some terrible lyric from Wheezy F Baby. So yeah, Wheezy F Baby, big Astros fan.
Apparently so. And apparently Dusty's a big fan of his. That was the Mutual Appreciation Society for sure.
I would have put money on that. Because Dusty is as cool as it gets. So if and Dusty's a music guy, but he is he's just cool. So if you're cool, you're going to be friends with Lil Wayne. It's what it is.
Yeah. Have we discussed on here when I met Jeff Tweedy from Wilco, who was the polar opposite of Lil Wayne?
Yeah, probably 13 times, but let's hear it again. I love hearing you. No. Yeah, you probably told the story at least 5 times. Maybe you're just talking.
There's no way.
Heard it.
There's no way. Sure. Maybe.
Our show historian Craig, our only listener, has he talked about it? Prove me right, and don't get mad about us talking about Chandler Rome, please.
Yeah. No. So right after I moved to Nashville for the first time, my cousin and I, who I lived with, we went to the Ryman to see Wilco. And
how was that? Wilco rules. Or they I don't know how they are. Are they still good? I don't know.
I mean, well, I'm talking like when I first moved to Nashville, this was literally 21 years ago. So
at the Ryman too, that's a transformative place to see a show. Whether it's music or comedy, the Ryman's incredible.
It's a fantastic venue, one of the best. And afterwards, we were just kind of like standing around. I smoked cigarettes at the time, and we were having a cigarette, and like Jeff Tweedy came out and signed some autographs, and I was so starstruck that I like cussed him out. Like I said, I was like, man, this is so great. What a great show. But I was excellent.
What did you say? You were just cursing. You had no idea what you were saying. You just blacked out.
I blacked out, and basically just like every other word was just a terrible word. And according to my cousin, he was like, he appreciated it, but it was actually really weird.
That's my biggest nightmare, is to like just all of a sudden I'm usually can speak and don't get flustered at all, but to get just have something and just get flustered and then all of a sudden you're spinning, and it's once it gets away just a second, you're already a little nervous, and that'd be my absolute worst nightmare.
You're done. Yeah. So
you're texting lyrics to the Alex Bregman, and all of a sudden that's how close you were to a situation like that.
I'm very glad that I've managed to keep my composure, or learned how to keep my composure in the second half of my life at that point. So
Tweety was cool. He was. I mean, that's not quite
super cool.
Not quite as cool as my encounter with Train, the entire band. I told someone. I keep telling. I got to tell it all the time. Somebody, it was on one of my podcasts I listened to. It's some comedian guys, and they were just talking about which this is something I didn't, a fun Train fact that I didn't know that really ruins a lot of bits that I've done. Drops of Jupiter is about his dying mother, like being like going through the cosmic and space and like or passing away. I'm always making a joke about how it's space cum, and Drops of Jupiter is and then so I'm just like, oh, I'm never gonna make that joke again. That's it. That changes everything. And so Matchbox 20. 3 a.m. is about his sick mother with cancer. So I was just like being up. It's like, oh man, that changes things.
Jeez.
So anyway, but so we're Train is still the craziest and most hilarious thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, no, that's one of my. Like I said, I told that story to someone. I was like, and I didn't claim it. I was like, I never said like, hey, I was doing this like show, and then afterward, like I was like a buddy, like one of my buddies.
Definitely still valor on that. It's much more funny if you heard them do it. But I honestly I'm using it as kind of like a gauge, because if you don't think that's funny, then you're not. I know that we're not gonna, or you don't know why that's funny, or you don't get it. It doesn't. No offense, but I just can't. It's one of the funniest things. I still laugh as hard as I did when it happened. Like just thinking about how ridiculous that is on so many scenarios that went into that.
If you don't laugh at that, then you're definitely not going to have a podcast for 7 years with that person.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well.
All right, so
we relived. I just got tongue twisted again. Fuck, I lost it. We relived stories we've both told on this podcast before, but that's okay.
I really don't think I've told that.
You definitely have.
Okay. Well, after the Astros of Houston went 5-1 at Atlanta and at Tampa, they've since gone 2-4. Against the Phillies and the Giants at home.
Yeah. The Giants, that last series kind of left a bad taste, but they're playing good baseball against. They've really had a gauntlet of a schedule. I know I keep harping on this, but it needs to be talked about how they're just team after team. Even the Pittsburgh Pirates are good, so they got peppered in there. Like literally, they was just only good teams in a row constantly. I think that needs to be talked about. The best team, the Texas fake Rangers, are playing the A's every week.
That's one of my friends asked,
and they're good, by the way. I'm very scared about that, but anyway, we'll get into that.
They're pretty good, yeah, we will. But all right, we'll table that. I want to point out that the Astros have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 series at home so far.
Yeah.
And they have won 2 of those. And one was against the White Sox, and the other one was against the Blue Jays.
Well, a very good team in the Blue Jays. Both are should be playoff teams, truth be told.
Well, and I say they won the series against the White Sox. They went 2-2 against the White Sox. The White Sox are done. They're not good.
Oh no, they are, but they have good players. They absolutely are garbage.
And on opening day, like everyone thinks they have a shot. So who you are in July is not who you are on opening day. But they lost 2 out of 3 to the Tigers. 2 out of 3 2 out of 3 to the Rangers. 2 out of 3 to the Phillies, 2 out of 3 to the Giants. They I guess tied a series with the White Sox, and they took 2 or 3 from the Blue Jays. What is it scheduling? Is it does it come down to something as simple as like Brantley and Altuve aren't in the lineup? Like, because we're gonna play a game here in a minute with batting average and offensive production.
No. Yeah.
In the last 9 games.
Well, yeah, I was just about to bring up something that probably ties into that. It's definitely all of the above to that, but it's an issue with when your 2 most productive hitters are Dubon and maybe even Julks. I mean, honestly, like the bottom of the lineup. Yeah. I mean, that's not great.
They like right now, like can't hit. I mean, got 7 runs against the Giants in the opening game of the series, which
was they were back. Yeah.
Yeah. We were like, okay, that's 2 in a row. That's good. And then scored 2 runs in the next 64 plate appearances.
Those are the 2 best pitchers, though. We ran into some buzzsaws. I mean, there's a little bit of great. I mean, we are getting some good pitching performances that's from the start. So that is part of it as well. So I don't want to give it. It's not all us being bad, even though I do think the lineup, even without Altuve and Brantley, is too good to be putting up 0s and 1s here. Abreu's not doing anything. I mean, I'm about to just start ranting. Yeah, it's just
Abreu is doing nothing. I guess
I don't hate him like everybody else does because I'm going to give him a chance. He's a notorious slow starter. He always has been, but not having any power.
None.
And the thing that's and then I didn't want this to be a factor at all, but I think that. And no disrespect to Yuli, who I obviously thought was a great first baseman and respected, but I think did not appreciate how many scoops and how many plays he saved with that would have been just those extra runners are coming into play. Even and Abreu's not a bad first baseman defensively. He's not bad, but Yuli got so good that it doesn't matter any throw anywhere he was picking it, and he was absolutely incredible. Like it was a lock. And that's not a lock anymore to dig these Peñas, make some bad throws. Bregman will throw off the wrong foot and short arm. And even Altuve, when he plays, is short arm. So he makes some bad throws. So that's something that's those extra base runners. That's going to come into give some extra lives to some teams and lives, not lives. I'm not. What am I? The Toronto Maple Leafs? Come on. Jesus. So yeah, I think that's something that normally I would brush that off and wouldn't bring that up. But I think it's kind of glaring when you see it all kind of come together. It's not great.
Small sample size for Yuli. But going into tonight, I have no idea if the Marlins are playing tonight. But Gurriel's he's played in 16 games.
Yeah.
He has an 820 OPS.
He's hitting like 300, isn't he?
He's hitting 310. With a 355 on base percentage, 466 slugging percentage
and an inside the park home run, which is just insult to injury.
2 home runs.
One's inside the park. That's just hilarious. That's just
Jose Abreu has played in 31 games.
Okay, that's
0.
Twice. That's twice the amount of games.
Almost twice. That's 0 home runs. That is a 531 OPS.
He's hit some line drives. He's how many RBIs does Abreu have?
13.
That's not terrible. He's not completely dead. I think that he's not hitting the power. I mean, people are few. Well, our fan bases are slurs, so they're overreacting. But it is time to start. I would say that it's time to emoji with a monocle, a watchful Abreu. But I'm not. It's just now May, so we need to calm down.
It is May.
And Maldonado too. Like I agree with. I kind of agree that it's bad on his last legs and all this and that. But this just instant anger And pitchfork mentality is absolutely insane. It's crazy. I mean, I can't even. It's wild that to be that reactionary, especially with this team. These players have earned the right for you to just be like, "No, they'll come around." Honestly, just be like, "Oh, they'll come around. I'm not worried about anything." That you could just be like, "I'm not worried about it," and you would be correct.
With Abreu, that's a little bit different, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's concerning. But it's 1 month, and he's a notorious slow starter. When has he not produced? I mean, look at his numbers.
Okay, so that's actually leads me into my next point, because 2021, he's actually I did not know this. In 2020, which was the COVID year, which is stupid. He was the MVP. But no, which whatever.
Yeah, but I can't. I want to give that. I don't want to give him credit for that, and then also take away the Dodgers. It's like you can't pick one or the other. You know, that's Mickey Mouse MVP.
That's actually not the point. The point is, though, that he grounded that was the middle year of the 3 years in a row that Jose Abreu led the league in grounding into double plays.
Ooh, I did not know that either.
He led the league and actually in 2019, which is the first year, 159 games, 123 RBIs, led the league. 24 double play balls that he grounded into, led the league. 10 sacrifice hits, led the league. He was an all-star that year. He hit 284. He had 33 home runs. 2020,
you do that. You're allowed to hit into as many double plays.
Yeah, because I mean, you're contact, and sometimes you just miss it or get.
What was he hitting for average? What did he hit for average those years?
2019 was 284.
Okay, yeah.
2020, the COVID year, led the league with 60 RBIs and 76 hits. He led the league with a 617 slugging percentage. And he led the league with 10 grounding into double plays, whatever the terminology is for that. 2021, played 152 games.
Okay,
he's durable.
Games, yeah, or he was.
Hit 261, so we have 317 to 261.
That's where I would peg him. That's great if you're getting those power. If you're getting power numbers, 261 is perfectly fine.
Had an 831 OPS, but also led the league with 28 grounding into double plays.
And did he also lead the league in weird goatee hair ties?
He did.
Okay.
2022. So here's my concern, is that 2019, 33 home runs. 2020, 19 home runs, but only in 60 games. So
that's pretty good production.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
2021, 30 home runs in 152 games.
Okay.
2022, last year, 15 home runs in 157 games.
When he hurt? Oh, no, he was. He played a 157, huh? Oh.
Yeah, no. And then now 31 games, 0 home runs.
Yeah, okay, that's... Yeah. All right.
I just feel like, I don't know. I'm willing... I mean, James Click, you can't say that he missed more than he hit because he inherited a built major league roster. But the whole, and Jake Myers has sort of proven him somewhat correct. That
injury really fucked him. I think that screwed his trajectory. I think if he doesn't get hurt like that, I feel like he's been the starter and he's a guy that we're all like, oh no, we're good at center field. I think that really the way he was hitting the momentum, I think that really, really kind of screwed him.
Yeah, no, I think there's something to that. But he's been a lot better.
Coming back around, yeah.
He's been a lot better. But it just kind of feels like Click wasn't I don't know that you would say a great evaluator, because you can look at Gurriel's dashboard stats on Baseball Reference and kind of come to the same conclusions that we're trying to come to with Abreu. He might not have it anymore. That was a pretty good.
That's still a no-brainer decision. I mean, and again, I love Gurriel as a hero. He always will be. We love him. That isn't, still right now, that's an upgrade, even though it doesn't look like it, but you're talking about 1 month, twice the amount of games. Gurriel is a baseball player. He's a pro. But that's the thing that kind of, aside from the comparison of, I wonder which between Gurriel and Abreu, who has the least amount of jersey buttons. Like that's where the competition's at. Like whose jersey is more open. So that's something I'm looking into.
I hope that becomes like a late 30s Cuban baseball player, like Major League Baseball player thing, where like there's a bet. Like I bet you won't button a single jersey, like a text. There's like just a text thread between the two. Like I'm only buttoning one. And
get it more egregious. Yeah, just to see if they can get fined or get the umpire gets upset about coming out like a.
I bet it's Gurriel that's like, I'm not buttoning any and I'm not wearing a shirt underneath. Like I'm just going straight chest hair.
I know, like I would be furious when we were playing them in the playoffs, and it was very hypocritical. But yeah, anytime Abreu would come up with a stupid chin thing, which I don't hate now. I'm trying not to. Everybody talks about it, but that jersey, I'm like, I just become like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. Like, pull up your damn pants, button your jersey. This is baseball. Respect our sport. Stand up when the anthem's on. Just that's what I instantly turn into. Even though Gurriel is doing the same, I'm like, he's allowed to do. He's comfy. He's playing free. He's allowed to do that. He's just kind of a happy-go-lucky guy. But Abreu, button that up. Come on, turn that hat around. Pull the pants up. Turn that music down. So I don't know. But no, you're right. That actually makes me a lot more. I was trying to just be like, yeah, he's putting a lot of pressure. He's a new team, and a great team that he's coming on. He's putting a lot of pressure on himself. He's guessing on pitches. He's just a little bit late on fastballs. He's not sitting on that. He's trying to hit a breaking ball. Then he's ahead and he's pulling a bunch of foul balls and way ahead on breaking stuff. So he's just kind of mixed up. I think it's just kind of a perfect storm of different stuff. I'm not sold on. I mean, I'm not off him at all. I still think that that's an upgrade, and I still think that he will absolutely help you win games down the stretch, and it will all even out, at least to where he's going to be producing enough to where we're going to be pleased with what he's doing. Maybe not the old Abreu, but he doesn't have to be old Abreu on this team.
Yeah, no, just be competent. Like that would help. I do think that he, maybe more than anybody, for exactly the reasons that you just described, being the new guy, the guy that's supposed to replace Gurriel, he will benefit greatly from not feeling like he has to be the guy. And so when Brantley comes back, when Altuve comes back, and we've got a complete lineup, maybe that loosens him up a little bit to think like, I don't have to drive in Yordan Alvarez right now. Like I can just keep the train rolling, even though he's going to be behind Brantley, Altuve, Alvarez. He actually does need to drive all of them. Yeah,
I was just about to say.
Most of them will be driven in by that point.
As being an RBI guy, like that's his job. And he would say the same thing. But yeah, he's going to get a lot of opportunities. So yeah, he may hit in some double plays, but that just means guys are on base and you're getting at bats with guys on base. So which he's going to get that. So hopefully he can drive in some runs. But yeah, I think that's a point that's helped Bregman or actually all the guys that have gone into slumps and slides. Altuve, I mean, every single player has gone into a place where you're like, this guy has not gotten a hit in a while, and they've just been able to just kind of work through it and not have that pressure of the whole team on your back. And I think that's just somebody else can pick you up while you're trying to figure it out. I mean, I feel like Bregman's always tinkering, and I feel like he's always, I'm going to use my favorite podcast word, precipice. I feel like he's always right there. Like, oh, he's back, home run. Oh, he's back. And then he'll just go into another like mini hole. All right. We're back to internet problems. That rules. I don't know what I was talking about. It didn't make sense. Who knows? Something. Yeah. It's just, I was asking you if you thought that he was tinkering too much, or maybe being too obsessed, if that actually is maybe affected him, especially when he's just not hitting well, because he does put pressure on himself, and he is in the cage. He is doing all the new modern technology and getting he's got Chat GPT trying to figure out how to him. It's bat GPT, and learn how to bat. All right,
a new swing. Like, one thing that I wonder is, I mean, his extension runs out at the end of next year. Like, is that playing a role, like, at all? I mean, he's been with the Astros and in the Astros organization since 2015.
Mm-hmm. It is playing a role, but maybe not serving him. It's playing a role with, like, I love Bregman. Again, he's he's tied into these teams. He's forever a hero. But I mean, I'll hear new proposals for third base.
I mean, I don't want him to. I don't want him to go.
I don't want
him.
Of course, I don't want him to go.
But I mean, if this is what we're gonna get, and I mean, he's got an above average WAR, which is cool. But this is his age 29 season, and
he took a discount, which I think was a smart move to just get the money. But yes, I mean, I think that's a thing too. He's probably putting pressure on himself because this is the big contract that he's going to be playing for. His last giant contract.
It's the last big one. And I don't know. I mean, the dude's made, actually, I've got his baseball reference page pulled up. I mean, we're talking about, $70 million. That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Defensively, he's, right behind Arenado. I mean, he's good of a defensive third baseman as it gets, though. I mean, but that's something you gotta, with an offense that we have, that's gotta come into play. So many those barehanded little dribblers on the line that he makes a play on. And then always going to have potential for pop and to have breakout seasons. I mean, I think that's something that needs to be talked about, but I'm sure he's thrilled with his production either. I'm sure he's probably pretty pissed with what he's done other than 2018.
What do you, we're in the off night. So what is his batting average as we record this on Thursday evening? Like if you had to guess what his batting average is, what is it?
233,
212.
Okay. That's the sex number.
But here's the thing with Bregman is that he's always
is very bad.
It's very bad. He is always going to have these issues. I mean, we're talking about a guy that in 3,600 plate appearances, 836 games, he has struck out 489 times. He's walked 461.
He's not walking as much. That's the thing that's changing his. He still has one of the best eyes I've seen. He is walking, but not at. But
he has more walks than strikeouts. Like I think that.
Yeah, he always will. I don't think that's impossible for him to strike out more than he walks. That's just.
No, he's done it. 2021, he struck out 53 times, walked 44.
Oh.
But traditionally, I mean, the first couple of years of his career aside. 2018, more walks than strikeouts. 2019, more walks than strikeouts. 2020, super close. 2021, within 10. 2022, more walks than strikeouts.
Do a little rundown of what were his final numbers in that MVP chase season? What did he end up with?
That was 20. So he had right? He had two straight top 5 MVP finishes. The first one was 2018. He had 51 doubles. He had 286, 31 home runs, 103 RBIs.
31 home runs. Yeah, and I thought he was up in the 300s. So 286 is still good with that power number. God, we need that Bregman. God damn, that's
85 strikeouts, 96 walks. 2019 was even better. 156 games, so one fewer game. 37 doubles, 41 home runs.
2019 is the season I'm talking about. That's the season I'm talking about. Yeah.
So 37 doubles, 41 home runs, 112 RBI, 83 strikeouts, 119 walks.
Dude, that's insane. What's his OPS?
OPS was 1015.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So second
nice.
In the MVP, All-Star, Silver Slugger, and 2020, which we don't count, but 2021, 270, 2022, 259, 2023. 212.
So it's really just last. 2020 does not count. I mean, Altuve was as lost as it gets, and we know it was because all of those demonic fans were doing rituals to steal his life force. But that applied to the entire team. So we are going to watch that across the board, and of course we're also going to anything good that happened. We're also not going to count that either. So that's just what it is. But so it's not as bad. It's not as long, and it feels like. It's been this long, arduous battle of just not hitting, and it's not really the case. It's just been like kind of last year he had the dip, and then and into this year, And then, yeah, I mean, really, it's not as bad
But
as it feels like. It's worse.
I mean, 212 is not great, and we're going to talk about that in a second.
Again, that is 1 month. It's not a good sample size, but it's just he's had terrible starts before.
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember when he first came up,
he didn't get a hit. Yeah,
it was what 43 plate appearances without a hit or something like that. Like it was.
Yeah, it's pretty much doing that right now.
Ridiculous. Like but he finished with a 264 batting average. Like you're right. He does start slow, and it's the height of hypocrisy. It's the height of hypocrisy to call out Alex Bregman for not performing within days of saying like, no, like this is what happens. Like he will once it gets above 90 degrees and we get into like June and July and August, he's gonna be Alex Bregman again. But also is probably missing the protection of Michael Brantley and Jose Altuve. Like he's not been without them for 6 seasons, and now he's supposed to be both. Like you can't ask him to do that. Like you can't tell a role player to, and I'm not saying Bregman's a role player, but you can't say like, hey, you don't have to carry the offense, and then all of a sudden be like, hey, you have to carry the offense. Oh no. Good.
I mean, we'll see.
I'm closing things. I have a ton of tabs open. I've already unplugged like the Roku.
It's fine. We'll get through it. It's we've actually had some good luck in terms of no technical difficulties. I mean, this is we're just we're getting haunted by a bad ghoul.
We are. That's true.
But you were making the point about that how it's just pure hypocrisy, which is the credo and the motto that I'm not going to say that some Astros fans live by.
Apparently I subscribe to it from time to time.
I am a big hypocrite. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the giant one, but on this, no, I tend to be pretty fair with my judgment of players and as even keel as I can be. I don't get too high, too low. It's just too much. I have real problems. I can't deal with that.
So let's do this. And then maybe we stop tempting the internet gods.
I've got a few non-baseball things that are very pressing issues after this, but yeah, for sure.
All right. So let's get into this. I'm going to ask you, and just based on the last 9 games. Okay. So that's the Tampa Bay series. And then who was it? Philly, and then the Giants. So one thing to keep in mind is, I mean, the Phillies are what you just saw them for only 6 games.
and they just got swept by the Dodgers. So that's the Philadelphia is with Bryce Harper coming back. So things aren't great in Philly. And
coming back too early. The
Sixers are choking. Things are bad, but the Eagles are good. So we'll see what happens in Philly.
I do not care for them. I mean, I actually like Bryce Harper. I think he's good for the game.
I came around on him. I hated him for a while, but I no longer hate him. So in this 4 and 5 stretch, among players with, let's just say, 9 at bats. So if you got 1 at bat minimum per game, so you went to the plate 9 times. Mm-hmm. Who has the highest batting average? And I know it's a Luddite move to only talk about batting average and not OPS, but what I'm looking at can't filter it through OPS. So who has the highest batting? Is it Dubon? I mean, I feel like he's the only one that's been hitting.
It's not Dubon. Dubon's actually 4th in the last 9 games.
Is it Jordan?
Jordan is 2nd.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing that somebody's hitting. Julks. I literally no idea.
Yainer Diaz. Yainer.
Oh yeah, the guy that can't get in the lineup because Dusty just doesn't feel like it.
3. He's 3 for 9. So that's a little bit misleading because he has the fewest. I filtered this with, if you got 5 at bats, you're in this 5 plate appearances.
But the way their offense is going, like that is enough of a stat. Like that's 3 for 9. What's that? 333. That's
333.
Yeah, that's the only math I've ever done correctly. Thank God. I was terrified for a second. I was like, oh no, it's going to turn into a fraction or something. I'll get a remainder. It's going to be bad. All right. He should be playing more. I would like to see him in the lineup more. It's crazy. Anyway, all right.
You could put Alvarez, you could put Jordan in left and DH Yiner. And
Yeah,
I mean, you can.
There's been some weird DH choices with that what's his name coming up, the kid with the Gen Z name. I can't think of his name.
Ryland Bannon.
Yeah.
Overthrowing elections and meddling with international politics. Steve's son. Yeah, Steve Bannon's son.
Steve Bannon's the man.
Who do you think leads in the last 9 games? Who leads the team in doubles?
Oh, let's see here.
Actually, let's make this a little bit easier. There are 2 players tied for the lead in extra base hits. So doubles, triples, home runs in the last 9 games. Who are
they? In the last 9 games? I only know, and I'm just going on again. I'm going to say doubles just because I've seen him hit a bunch. I'm going to say Jolks is up there with doubles.
Jolks has 1 extra base hit in the last 9 games.
Oh, in the last 9 games. All right. Well, then I'm not paying attention. That's me. Bregman? No, he's had 1 hit.
Bregman he's had 3.
Yeah, he had the home run, and then he's had. Yeah, I don't know. Jake Myers.
Jake Myers has had 2. He had a double and a home run.
Well, paint me green and call me Gumby. I don't know.
Jeremy Pena has 4.
Oh yeah. He's been pretty consistent throughout, I'd have to say.
Mauricio Dubon has 4.
The Frenchman, yeah, he's been very. He's been very ooh la la.
There are 3. I guess I know. I kind of gave that away. Three Astros have hit a home run in the last 9 games.
Okay, yeah, whatever the guys you said.
Yeah, Pena has had 3. Myers, Bregman had 2. Yeah,
and that's it. I mean, for
that's
home
it.
run, God damn.
Jordan has 2 doubles, no home runs.
Yeah, they're starting. He's starting to get walked a little bit more. Where the fuck is Kyle Tucker?
Okay, so let me ask you this: who has a higher batting average in the last 9 games, Jose Abreu or Kyle Tucker?
I'd say Jose Abreu.
Jose Abreu is hitting 182 in the last 9 games.
I feel like I keep seeing him hitting. I think I saw him hit a 1-line drive to drive-in runs in 1 game, and I'm somehow just compounding that out, and which is pretty much what I do. I see one thing, or somebody tells me one fact, and then I just extrapolate it to the whole thing. So I'm probably doing that. Where I'm like, oh, he's been crushing it. I saw 1 at bat, which clearly is the case. That was that one. Yeah, he had 1-line drive. He drove in a couple runs in one of those games, and that's what I'm basing my whole thing on. So,
my entire all of my musical preferences are based on exactly what you just said. I'm like, I freaking love that band. They had 1 song that was so good 25 years ago. Love them.
Yeah, 100%. It's really the best way to go about it. But if you really get down to brass tacks, get called out on it, you're like, oh well. Somebody, one follow-up question will spin me out instantly. We're like, well, what do you base? If somebody goes, what are you basing this on? I know I'm fucked. I'm like, well. All right. Well, funny you should say that. I'd have to say probably the numbers. And traditionally, this is a thing that's happened. The numbers of I would just shut the fuck up, don't ask me questions, and I'd run off. How dare you don't tell me to say facts and cite sources. I don't have sources. The ether tells me, and sometimes the ether saw the same at bat that I did, and it wants me to use it. So please, no follow-up questions. All right.
To put that one to bed, Jose Abreu has a 182 batting average in the last. He's 6 for 33. That's 1 double.
That's not good.
Kyle Tucker, 5 for 32, no extra base hits, 156, 222, 156.
Ooh, he's gonna get his switch taken away again.
They're gonna have to pump him, give him an IV of milk, and just like bulk him up a little bit.
Yeah, no more Jordans. He can't go to no more Saturday morning Jordans. I'm sorry, no more sneaker drops. He's gonna have to start wearing K-Swiss.
In the last 9 games, which this particular person has only played in 7 of, Martin Maldonado is 5th on the team with a 200 batting average, 333 on base percentage, 250 slugging percentage, hitting better than Jake Myers, Corey Jolks, Jose Abreu, Kyle
These
Tucker,
numbers
Alex Bregman.
suck. These stats suck. This team sucks right now.
It's not been great.
No, I'm not. That I can tell because every time I look up, there's been no run scored up until, yeah, okay, just to do silver lining playbook. And I'm Bradley Cooper, and I'm a mentally
Yep.
challenged crazy guy with schizophrenia, and I'm crazy and I'm yelling about something, and I'm trying to have sex with a very hot, also equally as crazy lady. But all right, anyway, that's the plot to a very good movie. But
Respect the game.
yeah, one positive thing that I would like to hope that down the road will pay dividends is all of this late magic, late run production, which is basically all they've done is produced late. And
Just take advantage of bullpens. They're getting dominated by starters, is what it feels like.
and yeah, and again, I said this earlier, but there's been some pretty incredible pitching performances that at least and that I've watched, and this is a real thing that I've seen, and not just one performance that I'm extrapolating to all. It seems like we're getting the best outing out of everybody's ace is giving us we're getting our money's worth.
Yeah. Are we concerned? Oh, we've spent a lot of time like bagging on the offense,
Rightfully so.
And they deserve that. Concerned with consecutive nights of the starter getting pulled injured in Urquidy and Garcia.
I mean, no, I think it's one of those freak things. Was there anything updated? The Garcia one, to me, there was so much mystery, and it was very weird. I mean, it was almost like he shit his pants or something and had to leave. I don't know. It was like a weird. I
would prefer that. For that, my gut feeling is not good about Garcia.
Yeah, but just how Maldonado was like signaling. The Urquidy, you just saw him. That you just saw it happen. But Garcia was just kind of a mystery, and then he's just instantly taken out, which is always a bad sign if there's not even up. If it's like,
you've thrown 8 pitches, and now you cannot throw a single one more. Like that's, and my concern, because I was really hoping for the bowels is loose, joke.
That's what that's what it could have been. Like, oh, I shit my pants, I gotta go, or this something he ate something bad or something. Yeah, something weird, but yeah, I don't know, man. That was
what stresses me out is that he had the MRI, and they were like, "We're gonna wait. We're gonna do another MRI on Saturday," and that's
never good. A second opinion or a second. That's never good.
I'm not confident. About
that means something is bad, and either it's structural, and it's like, well, you'll be fine to pitch through the season, or you need to have surgery now. That's what it seems like. It's one of those situations.
That's what it feels like. And I don't know anybody. Everyone got fired that I knew. But I wouldn't even know who to ask. But
that would suck. But I'm not. It's all respect to Garcia. This is no hate, but I'm not losing sleep over that. With Lance starting to throw back, and just with some of the depth there, some of the guys in the bullpen, we can move there's some options. The skeleton of Forrest Whitley stuff looks kind of good sometimes. Maybe he's around. There's options. So I'm not flipping out even with 2 guys going down. It's not ideal, not great.
There's not a ton of depth, and I think it's like I would
argue there is, but I mean it's all on just like speculation though.
I would very much prefer it. Like, let's just like shit or get off the pot, like with Forrest Whitley. Like, are you ready or not?
He's not, and he never will be. But I would like,
let's get some proof. Like,
throw him to the wolves.
Come on up and figure it out. Like, let's take a look. It's May, whatever. Like, you don't have any option. I mean, you've got all your options left. Because you've never made it to the majors before. Like, let's see what do you have? What do you have? You were the first round pick in 2016. Like, you got picked the year after Bregman got picked. Like, you were 2 years after 2 years after Brady Aiken. You're 3 years after Mark Appel. Like, you're before.
He is Mark Appel the second. Like, they're the same.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, when anybody, I'm sorry, it's not fair, but anybody who is giant and if you have a giant stature and you're imposing and you don't, and you just can't get together, it makes you double as worse.
Let's I want to take a look.
But it's definitely reflective on him that he hasn't been up, or he really even sniffed. He honestly, he had the Adderall suspension, and he was just literally getting absolutely crushed by the worst. It was like the worst minor leaguers were absolutely teeing off on him. It looks
he had
like he's
two straight
close,
starts. 2 straight starts against Las Vegas, both in Sugarland. He got rocked pretty good. His first 2 starts, Round Rock at Oklahoma City. So that's the Rangers, that's the Dodgers AAA team.
Who gives a shit?
8 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 11 strikeouts, 3 walks.
Okay, that's a game. And then he played the Savannah Bananas, and he got 2 Macarenas against him, and he got he had 2 Macarenas. He gave up a seeing eye. 2 Macarenas is one of the worst things that can happen to you. And then he got a mid base hit proposal, which is one of the worst things that can happen as well. So shout out to the Savannah Bananas and that. But yeah, 2 Macarenas is something that I don't want that. I don't want somebody getting that in my lineup. What are you going to get? 2 Who Let the Dogs Out? We can't have that. Right. Let's do.
The rest of what I was going to say does not matter. 3 starts, 2 against Las Vegas, 1 at Reno, which I think is not a great place for a pitcher to play,
or a person living. It's not a good place to just be in general. It's the biggest little city. It's just if you're there, you know too much about penny slots.
Hasn't pitched since April 29th, which I guess it's only May 4th. It might not be. I don't know.
Yeah, May the 4th be with
but let's find out. Like it's come on. Like,
well, apparently his velocity's back, and there was some stuff that he was like really working back with to get his arm back. So as far as I know, that he's back to full strength. And in terms, I don't think his location, I don't know if he's ever even had the location, truth be told, but he's throwing hard again, and he's getting great movement on his pitches. I just don't think he's put it all together. From what I've seen, that, and I hate to say this, but it looks like that he could be close to maybe being on the verge, maybe being on the precipice. I need to get a new word.
No, I like that word.
He's peeking in the I don't know. He's right there that he could be. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, let's maybe just people that he's bad with minor leaguers, and it's just one of those things, and he's just come up to the majors, and all of a sudden he's just something just clicks, and that happens in baseball. It's one
he's like, no, this is what I've been
sports
waiting
where you can't explain it. You can just all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't know, Royals was very good, but just the Cincinnati. Sometimes you just have magic and something clicks, and you're like, I don't know, I'm just good here for whatever. Nobody can tell.
I've been waiting for 7 years to be here, and I was slow pedaling it because like whatever. And now that I've attained what I hope to achieve, then I'm gonna kill it. I will say, in Forrest Whitley's defense, he threw a season high 83 pitches his last time out. He got a season high 18 looking strikes. Okay, seven ground balls, 8 fly balls, 4 line drives. I guess that's not terribly ideal, but he's sort of building to it. I think by Memorial Day, Forrest Whitley will have made his first start in the majors.
It
might be his only start.
And he would have reenacted Pickett's charge at least 2 or 3 times. He's like the name of a Civil War general.
Nathan Bedford Forrest Whitley.
That's what that's all I would think of. Either that or obviously the mentally challenged person that I despise the most with the same name.
He didn't hit anybody. He didn't hit a batter for only the second time in 5 starts.
You see what we're doing though? This is like we're grasping for dicks or whatever the saying is. I don't know what it is.
All right, let's move on.
So that's not ideal. I'm not worried about that. Bullpen is going to be the separator. I think the Texas Rangers have a terrible bullpen. And I think that's the thing that's what's honestly the bullpen is what separates good from great, bad from mediocre. That's what I mean. And the Astros are the best of the best, and they continue to be. And they're only, so that's something that I will, I'll rest my hat on. That's going to be like, just play around 500 if you need to be. But just the way they're playing around 500 is just frustrating.
Yeah, I think
it's not a good brand of baseball. It's not exciting, and I know it's not indicative of who they are. And I'm not. I mean, it's early. It's not flipping out at all. But it has sucked for an entire stretch of a week of games to just have the same thing. That sucks. That reminds me of 2016. Just like, what the fuck? It just like not scoring a run for. I mean, that's old Astros shit. We thought we put that to. We rested that and we mummified that and put it in the sarcophagus.
We talked about the hardest thing is to take your own advice. And we have been on record that until Brantley and Altuve come back, 500 is fine.
Yeah.
The problem is
even around it. Yeah. I mean, that is the official take for sure.
Now the problem is that we're 30 games into the season and they're right at 500.
It's not.
And we're mad as hell. It's 20% of the season. There's 80% of the season left to play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I would say some people are mad as hell. I'm starting to get a little miffed. But I'm not worried about it. Again, they're playing good baseball teams, and I don't know if you can find out, but strength of schedule, it's got to be at the top of the league. It has to be.
They've played a bunch of teams above 500. The problem is that there's not as many teams like trying to tank. I do love seeing the Yankees at the bottom of the AL East.
Well, that won't last, but it's great. Yeah,
I think it might. I think it might.
I'm rooting for that. That'd be ideal, but no, they'll be good. They'll make a run.
Okay.
There's no. I mean, the Oakland A's are the worst possible team in history of. We've established that they are the worst team that's ever played, which is fun. But there's 15. Got to be. I'm looking. I'll find it out right now.
There's 15 teams in the American League, and 6 of them are below 500 right now.
Yeah, how many of those have we played?
Four of them are in the AL Central. 2 are in the AL West.
So the White Sox. So the only team we and the Twins beat us. But the Twins are good. So the Twins are winning that division.
Twins are
Tigers
killing it.
Tigers fucked us up. So it's Tigers. We've played everybody but Kansas City, I guess, huh?
We've played Detroit. We played Chicago, and that's it.
So just no Kansas City. Yeah. All
right. We took a series from Pittsburgh, who is leading the NL Central by a game and a half, which I would not have pegged.
No, it won't last, but that's fun. That's a fun thing. That's a scrappy little young baseball team. That is very fun. Oh, and shout out to the man, Andrew McCutchen.
What did he do?
He's just balling.
Oh yeah. All right, good. Yeah, I love Andrew.
Goes back to Pittsburgh to retire, and he's like producing. That's pretty fun. Yeah, he's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite players. That's a good dude. I know Brian Giles, but he is.
I have the very same opinion of Andrew McCutchen that I had of Curtis Granderson. You're
racist. It sounds racist, but we'll all let
no.
you finish.
I adore. I had a chance to talk to Curtis Granderson.
He's good.
He is such a good dude. His like mom's a teacher. Like he's such a good person. Like how he was. Just talking to him is exactly how I'd hoped he would be. He was great.
I really enjoy him on any of those panels that I don't get to see it a lot. I guess it's really only postseason, but I know he was doing. I guess he still is, but I thought he was great on the panel doing the analysis.
Yeah, no, super smart. Love it. I absolutely love.
But McCutchen just played the whole career for the most part, the whole career in Pittsburgh, and I mean, absolutely a torturous thing to do, and just being like the life of the party every time, and a smile on his face, like that dude rules. So to have them be kind of good sniffing just for a minute, because it won't last, it's Pittsburgh, but to have him come back at the end of his career playing there, back doing and playing well, that makes me very happy.
Let's see if there's any sort of underlying. Let's look at the Pirates.
Trying to look up my.
They're 9-4 at home. They're 11-7 on the road. They're 5-2 in one-run games. If you want to, and they've only played 11 games against teams over 500, which there's not as many in the NL. 14-6 against the under 500 teams that they played. They're taking advantage of their schedule, which is what you should do.
All right. Well, I guess I'm crazy because I'm looking this up, and this has like the Astros at 20th. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know. This is some anything that has guru in the website title. It's either a sex cult with a guy named Vikram trying to get Bob's and Vagine pictures, or yeah, I'm not gonna go off that. That's a weird. They're using old Wiccan math, and that's witchcraft. You can't trust it.
So Baseball Reference says the Astros have had the 6th toughest schedule.
Okay, that's about where I would say that it had to be up there because it feels like they've just, and it's also, I'm also going off of potential and teams that were picked to go to the postseason or have been, the Torontos, the Tampas, the Atlantas. So these are all. It just feels like it's been a gauntlet. All these teams in a row too. That's rough. Then the Phillies come in, then you got the Giants were the worst team, and those are the teams. I don't know, man.
The Rangers 25th. The Mariners.
Yeah, that's where I would have put it because they play the A's every week.
I would be worried if I was a Seattle fan to be 14 and 16 with the 28th easiest schedule in baseball right now. And the Angels have had the easiest schedule according to Baseball Reference.
And they suck, man. But
they're second. They're a game ahead of the Astros.
Do not tell Ohtani about my baseball real character. Please come here. I love Japan. I'm sorry that you got the sun harnessed 1,000 times on your country.
You could probably. How could you fleece the Angels? Like, could you give them corpus? Like, just like the city, the team, give them corpus.
Well, you gotta ask Mickey Mouse what he wants.
Yeah.
See what Mickey wants, and obviously it's child sex slaves is usually what Mickey Mouse wants. So that's unfortunately we can't really barter with a monster. But it's not. It'd be a trade. It's not free agent. He's just gonna be a Dodger, isn't he? It's gonna piss me the F off.
Yeah. No. Probably.
What if he just said, you know what? Actually, this country sucks. I'm going back home to be the real true Mr. Baseball, and he just goes back. Him and Tom Selleck win the Japanese championship. All right.
Incredible.
Well, okay. So strength of schedule. That's everything's fine. As bad as the sound of us just whether everything is, but honestly, my official take is that everything's fine. I'm looking, I'm paying attention, and I'm skeptical. But I'm watching. But things are okay. We still are great. We will go back to the World Series and we will win it. Everything will come together, and we need to see the team actually play as the team that they're supposed to be before we really even make any kind of conclusions. It's been 1 month. Wouldn't be the first Astros team to be bad in April. What are we talking? And they weren't even bad.
At some point this month, the Astros it's going to hit the transaction wire that the Astros have acquired Michael Brantley and Jose Altuve from the injured list.
I mean, that's two Hall of Fame bats. I mean, what are we talking about? And that just, I mean, that pushes that. I mean, it's crazy what a difference that is. I mean, even just seeing that in a lineup, seeing Altuve lead off the game, it changes your whole.
Changes absolutely everything.
About absolute everything. Yeah.
You change the top third of your lineup.
So yeah, they've just been really just trying to. Yeah, they just get to when Altuve comes back. You just survive, and they do
tread water. Yeah.
It's just because that you very clearly highlighted. The last 9 games have been abysmal. So it feels like
it's still 4 and 5.
Just me to do my normal thing. Yeah, but it feels a lot worse. So I'm just gonna extrapolate that and apply that to the whole. So it's been that bad the entire time, even though that's just the last few days. Really, it's really just the last. It's just the Giant series, and then
a week and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last week has been really
teams
bad.
Again. They're still beating the good teams again. And they're playing. They used to not play down to their competition as much, and I feel like they're doing that a little bit more. Losing to the Giants, losing to the Tigers, losing to these bad teams. But yeah, right. They're good, and they know that they can win. I mean, yeah, I'm not worried.
Yeah. Now we get into the real thing. The Giro d'Italia that's starting on Saturday.
It is fun. It is fun though to spin out a little bit, and people do enjoy the show when we haven't been bad. We always talk about this, so we haven't really had a chance to bitch. But I mean, these are they're potential concerns, but it's nothing that it's just not enough sample space for us to really flip out about anything other than
moderately legitimate. Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan's still hitting clutch home runs. The little things that if we want to pick out how bad some things are, we can also pick out how great some things are. So,
yeah.
Anything else? So Leeds not getting relegated. Anything? You got anything going on?
No. I'm limping. I'm limping to the end of the school year.
Weird. It's getting close. Yeah, I only had the two not quick non-baseball things. One of the worst possible things to happen is one of my neighbors got a borzoi. Do you know what? Are you familiar with these dogs?
No.
Look it up right now. It's a borzoi or a Russian wolfhound, and they're like these ghoul-like, long-snouted demon beasts. And this dog haunts the scariest. It's like a spy versus spy snout dog, and they're like eel-like, and they're long. Their snouts long, and yeah. So that thing is really not great.
It looks like the picture that I'm looking at looks like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, it's they're scary, especially you get one that's all white and it looks like this is a ghoul.
Yeah, no, that's
it's like a warped face. It looks like it's some scary, like a Goya painting or something. It's just very scary.
Exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, something very scary from one of his paintings. So that was going on, and then the other thing was I've gotten back into Lifetime movies.
Okay.
You ever watch those?
No.
You should really look into them. They're pretty good. I was riveted earlier watching one called Girl Positive. And here's a quick rundown, and we'll close out on this. This is a girl positive note to well, actually this is not that positive, but so check it out if you're into Lifetime movies. They're not quite what you think. I know people think that they're like these, but it's not the Hallmark Channel. Lifetime. These are good. Now, Girl Positive is this teen, they moved to this small town, and this girl, she's a senior and about to graduate. Everything's going, so she goes to this big party and has this hot fling with a stud football player, and it turns out that he turns out to be addicted to heroin.
Sure.
And which is bad, not great. So that's a bad choice there, Rachel. But also on top of that, also has HIV. So not great. So this heroin addicted HIV high school football player has got her spinning out. But luckily, she is befriended by a mentor-like teacher played by Jenny Garth, who coincidentally also has HIV. And just kind of walks her through the process of testing and all that. So everybody has HIV, and then also like there's always like somebody's a ghost or something, or a murderer. There's always like a thing that you think is the plot, and then it's like actually no, this is that's all going on, but also there's a knife killer loose in the town. But but basically just everybody had HIV, and I thought that she becomes friends with her teacher, who also so that helps out. So that's a little fun. It's called Girl Positive.
All right. I'm interested. Okay.
Yeah. So, but they're really good. Sometimes there's ghosts and some. Yeah, it's good stuff. So there's a bunch of them, but I'll be updating on whatever I've watched. But that one that was pretty good. I wish they would have had one more person with HIV. But, just because that I laughed out loud. I was like, of course, that's hilarious. But all right, so shout out to Lifetime movies. If the Astros had a Lifetime movie, it'd be like AJ Hinch he's meeting with an old timey looking guy, and it's very mysterious, and it takes place in 2017, and they can't place, but he's taking advice from this old timey looking guy, and turns out that's actually the ghost of Billy Martin, and he's teaching AJ Hinch to not play his best players in clutch situations, and ignore anything going on with trash cans. And basically that's the ghost of Billy Martin is drunk, and he's coming from hell, and he's drunk, and he's giving him bad advice, and that's what happened. That's what cost him the World Series. And it ends up in 2019, Billy Martin has fully groomed him into being a bad manager. So pretty fun. So that's pretty fun. All right.
Erling Haaland might score 12 goals by himself on Saturday against Leeds. So let's see. Well, why are you so down on? I think 7's realistic. 7, I'd be disappointed in 7. I'm thinking 9.
What are there? I'm not as familiar with the gentleman or unwritten rules aspect. I mean, you don't.
No, you don't know
run
what
it-
Arsenal's gonna. You don't know what Arsenal's gonna do. Like you need that goal differential just in case.
Yeah, if I'll be fuming if something happens and we don't get to go to Champions League.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You should be.
Arsenal, I mean, I'm sick, man. People are like, God, we thought we were getting out of the episode with a fun HIV story, but no, we got peppered in
I've
with
got
everyone's favorite soccer. Or
I've got
football.
60.
Yeah,
I have 60 seconds. I gotta.
yeah. Well, I was just gonna say I'm sick. I'm really sick of Man City and just what they're doing up there. It's the oil
Well, it's
money.
what you did. It's what you did from like
What-
1993 to 2004.
We had a racist gentleman that was a knight, and he was a good coach that yelled at people. And no, we did it the right way. They're doing it. They're a sheik on a yacht, but buying players. So no. All right.
I look at Newcastle and I'm like, what I would give for some Saudi blood money right now.
I would too. I'll take some as well. But I do. Yeah, it's very upsetting. And Arsenal, they're pretenders. They can suck off too. So all right, go Stros. We're champions, and everybody else is the worst.
Gonna be fine.
Yeah, it is fine. Everything's good. We're not freaking out at all. Everything's great. All right. Till next time.
But there's one thing I love more than getting my pitch over the plate. And that is getting over this plate in Casa Ole. It's like a fiesta in Casa Ole. Casa Ole, fresh today, every day. Get a free child's play. We just take a stop from any Astros game. Casa Ole.